Hello and welcome to IL Tutors. Today I'm going to go through Edexcel GCSE 921 Higher Tier Paper 3 for June 2019. Lishba, are you there?
Yeah.
Complete the Venn diagram to represent this information. What do you think goes in both A and B, first of all?
6 and 9.
6 and 9 goes in there. Okay. And what goes just A?
1, 5, and 8.
1, 5, and 8. Again, what goes in B?
2.
Just 2. Okay. And anything which goes outside both A and B?
3,
3,
4,
4,
and 7.
7. Okay. And then it says a number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability that the number is in set A intersection B. Rishma? What is the
2,
Sorry?
2 over 9.
9. Thank you. Sam, can I ask you to help me with this question? Katie invests £200,000 in a saving account for 4 years. The account pays compound interest at a rate of 1.5% per annum. Calculate the total amount of interest Katie will get at the end of 4 years. Isam.
Can you allow me to annotate?
Sorry?
Allow me to annotate.
No, can you please tell me? I want to annotate. Okay, times by 200,000 times by what?
Open brackets.
Okay, yeah.
1.
Yeah, 1.
Plus 1.5.
1 plus 1.5.
Over 100.
Okay, so.
Put just the plus sign now. Put the plus sign.
Plus sign, okay.
Then 1.5 over 100.
Okay, 1.5.
Over 100.
Over
No.
100. Should it be just,
yeah.
So over 100 should be just here.
Close brackets.
Yeah.
Square root of 4.
To the power of 4.
Yeah.
To the power of 4, okay. Good. And if we actually do this, okay, and to be honest, 1 plus 1.5% actually should become 1 point what?
0.15.
0.15. Okay, so you could have just done this times by 200,000.
No, it's not 1.015. It should be 1.5.
No, it's 1.05, maybe.
1.015.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, and if there is 1 there, then it would become basically 10%. Understand? Okay, because guys, I think it's very important that we know that 0.1 actually mean 10%. Okay, and 0.01 actually mean, yeah, but there's a percentage sign there. Okay, and that would mean 1%. Okay, and what do we get if we actually do this?
We get 212272.71.
Can you slow down a bit, please? 2.
Sure. 2, 1.
1.
2.
2.
2.
And then again 2.
7.
7.
2.
7 and 2 again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Point.
0.7.
7.
1.
1. Okay. All right. So basically 212,272 pounds and 71 pence. 212,272.
Don't you have to minus it?
But then you take it. Oh, you take out.
Calculate the total amount of interest Katie will get. Oh, yeah. So basically that should not be the answer. Then from this, basically,
just move the 2.
You need to take away 200,000.
Yeah, away the 2, and then it's 122.
Basically, one. What will that be? That will be then 12,272 pounds and 71 pence.
I was supposed to add that.
Excuse me, Sam. What did you say?
They answered most.
Honestly, I didn't quite understand what you said. Margaret, question number 3. You're going to answer part A of this.
You have to work out the
Yeah.
You have to work out the cumulative frequency.
You need to work out the cumulative frequency, guys. Whenever we need to work out median, we need to work out cumulative frequency. Well done, Margaret. So Margaret, tell me, first number will be 7. Second number will be then 27 add 13. Next one will be then 34. Next one?
46.
And then add 60 to
62.
And then 80. Okay. Right. And median will be n divided by 2. So basically 80 divided by 2, which will be 40th value. Okay. Okay, or 40th plant basically. So what do you think? Where do you think is 40th?
34.
You think 34, 46?
46.
46. Guys, I must tell you that from 1 to 7 are between, like they have a height between 10 to 20. From 8 to 20 have a height of 20 to 30. And from 21st to 34 have a height of between 30 and 40. And 35th to 46 have a height of this. So basically, if you think 40th value must be between in this group here that contains 46. Right, and then it says on the grid, draw a frequency polygon. And who is going to help me with the in the second bit? Right, Alishma. So what are the rules for frequency polygon?
You plot a point at the the
It's
middle.
plotted against, like frequency is plotted against the midpoints. Okay, so first of all, what's the midpoint of 10 and 20? That must be
15.
15. So against 15, it should be 7. So 7 will be there. Okay, and then what's the next one? 20 to 30, halfway between 20 to 30 is
25.
And it's 13. So here it's 13, 13 will be this 14. So this is 13 is here. Okay, and 30 to 40, midpoint is 35, and we need to do it 14. Okay, and then 40 to 50
45
is 45. The midpoint is 45, and this is 12. So the point will be there then. Okay, and next one.
55.
Against 55, it should be 16. So 16 will be 15 is here, so 16 will be there. And if I make any mistake, please do let me know. 60 to 70 is
65, 18.
So halfway between 15 and 20 is 17.5. So it must be this one here, that like one little line above. And what we need to do after this, once we've done this,
join it dot to dot.
yeah, like with a straight line or with curves?
No, just no curve, just
straight line. Join them up with straight lines. Okay, so join them up dot to dot, as you said. Okay, with straight lines. Here we are. Thank you, Rishma. Right, Mustafa, can you help me with question number 4 then? Sean has drawn a time series graph to show the numbers in thousands of visitors to a fun park. Okay, write 2 things that are wrong or could be misleading in the graph.
On the y-axis, 9.5 is missing.
What's that?
9.5. It's not there.
9.5. Okay. On the y-axis, 9.5 is missing. On the y-axis, 9.5 is missing. Okay. What else?
There is no 5.
Sorry?
It is a star 0.
Okay, yeah.
And there should be no
On the
gap.
y-axis, okay.
There should be no gap between the years.
Yeah. Missing. And what else? It's
0 is missing as well.
okay. It is not starting from 0. Okay. What else? And is there anything else missing? I think that should be enough for 1 point. Anything else?
Wouldn't there be 2 points? 1.9.
Yeah, so that's
is
only
missing.
one. No, that is 1 point because that's about
Well, you have to join them up with
scale on the
straight lines.
There
y-axis.
should be no gap
Sorry?
between them. There should be no
You
gap.
have to join them up with straight lines. Someone could do them like curved lines.
Yes, okay. The point should have been joined with straight lines and not the curves. Okay. Good. Thank you, Mustafa. Bas, can you read the question for me, please?
Diagram shows a hexagon. The hexagon has one line of symmetry. F to A is the same as B to C, and E to F is the same as C to D. Angle ABC is equal to 117 degrees. Angle BCD is equal to 2 times the angle CDE.
Okay.
Work out the size of the angle AFE.
Okay.
You must show you're working.
All right. Okay, so angle BCD, okay, is twice the angle CD. So basically, if this angle is X, this angle is 2X, and same
That's
applies
2X.
here because this has a line of symmetry. This is 2X and this is X. Okay.
The top is 117.
Yeah, and the top angle is same as 117 degrees. Okay. And how can we, can someone tell me that in a
So-
hexagon, what's the sum of all angles?
You have to do
720.
720.
So n minus 2
times
times
180.
180, and if you do say basically 6 minus 2
4
times
times
180, and what would that give me?
720.
720. So all of these angles add up to 720. And what's double of, if we add all of these angles up, I will get basically 2x plus 4x, which is 6x. 6x plus, what's double of 117?
234.
334.
And that is equals to 720. Take away 234 from both sides. And I will actually get 6x.
6x.
What is 720? Take away 234.
720.
486.
486. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
486 divided by 6.
81.
80.
X is equal
So
to-
basically x is 81, and work out the size of AFE.
162.
AFE plus
81
that
times
is 2x, 2
82.
times by 81, and that would be 162 degrees. Is that right, Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Margaret, you're going to help me with this question. Question number 6. Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks completely with paint. Each tank is in the shape of a cylinder with a top and a bottom. The tank has a diameter of 1.6 meter and a height of 1.5 meters. Jeremy has 7 tins of paint. Each tin of paint covers 5 meters squared. Has Jeremy got enough paint to cover completely 3 tanks? You must show how you got your answer. Right. So what do you think we need to work out first of all?
Area of the cylinder.
The surface area, you mean to say?
Yeah.
And right. Do we need to paint the top and bottom as well?
Mm.
Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks.
Yeah, top and
complete.
bottom.
So it looks
Yeah.
like that you have to. So how can you work out the surface area of this top and bottom? What would you do?
You can find the area of the circle.
Yeah, so what you are going to do is you will do pi times by radius squared. What's the radius of this one, Margaret? 0.8. So pi times by 0.8 squared. And this one here will also be pi times by 0.8 squared, pi r squared. That's the formula. But how can you work out the curved surface area? Basically, if I just try to show you that, like, curved surface area will be something like this. With
You need to work out the circumference
like,
of the circle.
yeah, of course, with two circles there. Okay. Right, okay, and what will you do? You have to do, that is pi times diameter times by height. So pi times, what's the diameter? 1.6, and times by 1.8. This is height. This is height, and this is diameter. Okay. Right, and if you add all of these up, who's going to do this for me and tell me the exact answer? So 0.8 squared times by pi, and then times by 2, because this is double, that is top and bottom, and plus you need to do pi times by 1.6 times by 1.8. And all of this gives me what? 104 divided by 25 pi. So total surface area is what? Area is equal to 104 over 25 pi. And how many such cylinders needs painting? 3. Okay, so which means you will times it by 3 then. Okay, and if you times this one by 3, what will we get? We'll get 312. 312 over 25 pi. And if I ask you, what would this be in, like, if I like press F to D button, I will actually get 39.20, yeah, 21, okay, centimeter squared. No, not centimeter, meter squared, because the unit is meter. Okay, and this is corrected to decimal places. Good. And then what we see is Jeremy has 7 tins of paint. Each tin has
7 times 5.
What is 7 times 5?
35.
That's 35.
5 meters squared. Do you think, has Jeremy got enough paint? Yes or no?
I think it's got more than enough paint.
Yeah.
No.
He can even paint his house.
Okay, no. He has not enough paint. Okay. Ibrahim, can you please help me? How can I type? This question number 7 is just about typing the question in your calculator. Tell me, what should I start with?
You have to press the square root button.
Square root button, good. Then?
And then click the fraction button.
Fraction button, well done.
And then write 2.5.
5 times by?
Times sin.
43.
43. And then close the bracket.
Good. Going
and then go down.
Yeah. How can I go down?
Press the down arrow.
Okay, good. Then?
And then press 8.2.
0.2.
And then press the square button. And then do minus 50.5.
50.5. And this is what I get. What do I get? I get equals 0.319141 ... And I need to write 3, like this answer, to 3 significant figures. So can you tell me, Ibrahim, what should I write?
0.319.
0.319. Noman, can you help me with question number 8? It says ABC is a right angle triangle. One of the lengths is 6, one of the lengths is 8. And then it says, here is Sarah's method to find the length BC. BC is equal to A squared plus AC squared, and 6 squared plus 8 squared, and then that's 10, and then that is equal to BC is equal to 10. What do you think is the mistake?
The mistake is that she thinks BC is the hypotenuse.
Also, she's thinking that BC is hypotenuse, but what side is the hypotenuse? AC is
AC.
Okay, so she should have actually done 6 squared plus AC squared is equal to 8 squared, and then it should be AC squared should be equal to 8 squared minus 6 squared, and then square rooting both sides.
6 plus BC.
Oh yeah, please excuse me. This is actually BC. Okay, BC, and then that's why BC will be equal to what? If you work this out, 8 squared minus 6 squared, and that will actually give you 2 root 7, or this will be 5.29. Two decimal places. Okay. Right, Naman, can you help me with this one here? It says Roy is going to enlarge triangle PQR with center C, okay, and a scale factor of 1/2. He draws a triangle XYZ. Explain why Roy's diagram is not correct. How far is this? How many squares this is away? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what do you think? What that person has actually done?
He's won by
1.5.
Do you think how what do you think? How far he should have gone altogether? Should he have gone 10 squares altogether? Guys, what is 10 divided by 4?
2.5.
Basically, that shape is enlarged by the scale factor 2.5 instead of 1.5. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is a mistake. Ibrahim, can you help me with this question? It says the company has to make a large number of boxes. The company has 6 machines. All machines work at the same rate. When the machines are working, they can all make the boxes in 9 days. The table gives the number of machines working each day. Okay. Work out the total number of days taken to make all the boxes. Guys, in this one here, we can see that if all the machines works for 9 days, so 9 times 6, which means 54. This gives me 54 days for individual machine. Okay. So at the moment, if we see in the first 3 days, what happened is only 3 machines worked, so 3 plus 4, and second day 4, and third day 5. This gives me 12. And then all other days, it's 6 machines each day. So I can think of 12 plus 6 times something, okay? And I can actually solve it like an equation. So 12 plus 6, maybe I can call it x equals 54. If I take with 12 from both sides, and that will give me 6x equals 42, and then I can divide both of them by 6, okay, and then x will be 7. So basically 3 days plus 7 days, 3 plus 7 is 10 days, okay. So altogether it will take 10 days. Question number 8, Mir, can you help me with this question? It says Mary invests £8,000 in an account for 1 year. At the end of the year, interest is added to her account. Mary pays tax on the interest at a rate of 20%. She pays 28.80 tax. Work out the percentage interest. So at the moment, what we know is that 20% is interest. Is that right? So 20% is equal to 28.80. And how can we make it 100%?
Times it by 5.
Times it by 5. So that is 100% interest. This will be the interest, and that would be 144. And we need to see what is 144 as a percentage of
144
as a percentage of 8,000, and we need to do 144 divided by 8,000 times the 100. And what does that give me?
1.8%.
1.8%.
Yeah.
That's not 9 times 10 to
Guys,
the power of 7.
in May 2019, the distance between Earth and Mars was 3.9 times by 10 to the power of 7. In May 2019, a signal was sent from Earth to Mars. Assuming that the signal sent from Earth to Mars traveled at a speed of 3 times by 10 to the power of 7 kilometers per second, how long did the signal take? So guys, we know the distance, we know the speed, and I think all of us know the triangle. Ibrahim, can you help me with this, please? Right. Ibrahim, can you help me with the question? What we need to do, we need to work out time.
So you have to cover up time.
Yeah,
And then you do
time or
distance over speed.
T is equal to distance over speed. And what's the distance? 3.9 times 10 to the 7 divided by 3 times by 10 to the power of 5. And if we do this, what do we get?
130.
130. Okay, so 130 seconds. Okay, the speed of the signal sent from Earth to Mars in May 2009 was actually less than this speed. Okay, how will this affect your answer to part A? Do you think the answer will become bigger or will it become smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger.
It will be bigger.
Okay.
Moving slower, so it'll take longer.
This will make the answer bigger. Okay. Moise, can you read the question for me?
Patrick has to work out the exact value of 64 to the power of a quarter. Patrick says a quarter of 64 is 16, so 64 to the quarter is 16. Explain what is wrong with what Patrick says.
What do you think? What mistake has he made?
You're supposed to fourth root 64 instead he times a quarter time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to find the fourth root.
Instead of a fourth root of 64. He worked out 1/4 of 64. Okay. Alishba, can you help me with this question? Question number 13. The density of ethanol is 1.09 grams per centimeter cubed. The density of what is this word, Alishba? Is it propylene? Is 0.79 gram per centimeter cubed. 60 liters of ethanol are mixed with 128 liters of propylene to make 180 liter of antifreeze. Work out the density of the antifreeze. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Fine, Alishba. So first of all, do we need to work out their mass separately? Is that right or not? But
Yeah.
do we know the triangle for mass, density, and volume?
Yes.
To be honest, this unit here actually gives us a hint that gram divided by volume, centimeter cubed is volume and grams is mass. So mass must be on the top, okay? And volume must be there and density must be here, okay? And at the moment we need to work out mass of both of these things, ethanol and propylene. Okay, so how can we work out mass? We need to cover mass. So mass must be equal to what? Density times volume. Okay, and what's density of ethanol?
1.09.
1.09 times y. What's the volume? 60. You work this out for me. What do we get?
65.4.
65.4, and it must be what?
Grams.
Tons or kilograms?
Kilograms.
Not kilograms, just grams.
Grams.
Look at this unit here. Okay. Right, and if I want to work out the mass for propylene, what would that be? Again, it has to be mass is equal to
density times volume.
Density times by volume, 0.79 times 128. What do we get?
124.16 grams.
Grams. Okay. So we need to work out. Do we know the total volume?
Yes, 60 add 128, which is 188.
Volume will be 60 and 128, which will be 188.
It's given in the question.
Centimeter cubed. But oh yes, okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's already given. Okay, thanks for pointing it out. And what's the total mass? 65.4 and 124.16.
118.56. 189.56.
89.56. And if you know the mass and if you know the volume, okay, so what do you think we need to do? How can we work out density?
Mass divided by.
Okay.
Yeah, mass divided by volume.
Yes, so density will be equal to, as if we cover this, okay, this will be mass volume, okay. That will be equal to mass, total mass is 189.56 divided by volume is 188. What will be the density of the antifreeze? What do we get? 1 point, it must be 1 point something.
It's just 1 if you round it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
1.01.
Yeah, 1.01.
1.01, and this is correct to 2 decimal places.
Yeah.
Naman is going to help me with question number 14. The diagram shows that rectangle ABD and 2 congruent triangles AFE and BCD. The area of the rectangle ABCD is equal to area of the triangle AFE plus area of the triangle BCD. Okay, so basically, if you add the areas of those triangles, that will be equal to the area of that rectangle. Okay, and AB ratio AE. Okay, where is AB? This one here is the ratio. This one ratio AE. Okay,
X
is like. So basically, if AB is 1 long, this AE will be 3 long. Okay. Work out the length of AE. Right. Can I ask Naman, how can I work out the area of this triangle?
So
half AB sine C.
Half AB sine C. How would we work this out?
Oh, you have to write 3x.
Right. So basically, what we can do is we can call this one 1x and we can call the other one 3x. Okay. How would I work out the area of one of these triangles? Half AB. You know, like the formula to work out the area of the triangle. What do we do? Area of triangle, Naman?
half base times height.
Not when we have to use
sine.
We call it half
AB
sine C. Okay, so basically of the 2 sides, so half times by 24 times by 3x times by sine 30. And okay, yeah, and one second. So what will that be? What is sine 30 equal to? That will give me half.
Oh.
Okay, so basically a quarter times by 24 times by 3x. Okay, and what will that give me? That will give me 12 times, 6 times 3, which is 18x. So this is 18x centimeters squared is the area of one triangle. So what would be the area of the both triangles? If you add both of these together, that would be 36. But what is the area of this rectangle? If I asked you to work out the area of this rectangle, how can you work out the area of this rectangle?
2 times 1 triangle.
This will be x times by 3x.
3x squared. So
So
that means
area of this triangle is x times by 3x, so which means 3x squared. 3x squared centimeter squared. So I must set 3x squared equals to 18x, okay? And then we can take away, not 18, 18 times 2. This was, sorry, 18 times 2, because there are two triangles, okay? So this, and then if I take away 36 from both sides, 36x, I'll get 0 on that side. And if we can factorize it. What is common in both of them?
3.
Not just 3x. I'll get x minus 12 equals 0. So one value of x is 0. The other value of x is 12. Okay, centimeters. Okay, so basically the length of AE must be, therefore you can say that AE will be equal to 12 times by 3, which will be 36 centimeters. Okay. Basu, can you help me with question number 15? The question actually says the graph of curve C with equation y is equal to f of x is transformed to give the graph of the curve S with equation y is equal to f minus x, take away 3. Right, so guys, Moise, so Bast will help me with this question.
Oh.
Okay. Right, so if we think of, say, 7, 2, so this point, just imagine is somewhere there. So this is 7, 2. 7, 2. What effect will minus f of minus x have? Pass it. Where will this point go?
It'd be reflected.
Reflected where? In the y-axis or in the x-axis?
It's gonna be reflected in the x-axis.
In the y-axis, I'm afraid. So this point will go somewhere there. So this point will go, it will become minus 7, comma 2. Its height will remain the same. Okay, and then there's another transformation because two transformations are mixed. And then what effect does, say, if I've got f y is equal to f of x, and if someone asks me what will be this transformation, take away 3, what effect will this have? Will this shift the graph above or below?
It's gonna move down 3.
Move down 3. So basically, first of all, initially this was basically reflected, okay, understand, and reflected there in the y-axis, okay, and then what else? Then we need to think of shifting this, translating this basically. First reflection and then translation of how many units?
3.
3 units down. And Alishba, can you tell me minus 7, comma 3, if it shifts 3 points down, 3 units down, where will we get to? Alishba?
Minus 7 and
Minus 1.
Minus 7, minus 1. Thank you, Isan. So guys, our final answer is actually minus 7, minus 1. Question number 16. Here are the first 6 terms of a quadratic sequence. Find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. Guys, can you help me with the common difference there?
Six.
-1, this is +6. Okay, and what's the next
Then
one?
10,
Plus
Then
10.
it's 10
And next one then?
14.
plus 14.
+14. And what is the common difference there? And then second time, this must be common. Okay, 3. Is it 3?
4.
4, 3 and 4.
You thought to write 10 there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
One
between
second, one
10.
second.
Yeah.
Guys, that was the mistake we have made. This needs to be +10. Okay.
Yeah, 4 and 4.
This difference is 4, 4. I was just thinking that the second difference must be exactly the same. Okay.
And
Good.
divided by 2.
And guys, tell me then, what is, like, can you help me write down the equation? What is the first thing equal to? First term is
A plus B plus C.
A plus B
A
plus
B
C.
plus C. Okay, this is one of the equation. And what is the second equation, Lishma? What is this equal to? 3A plus B.
And then
Okay.
the last one is 2A.
And
That's 2A.
this, like, final one, this second difference, which is always a constant value, that is always equal to 2A.
Yep.
Okay.
8.
And excuse me, can Mujtaba help me work out the value of A from the last equation?
A equals to 2.
A equals 2. And if A equals 2, you can actually plug that value in there.
Mhm.
Okay. And if you do that, you'll get 3 times 2 plus B, and that equals 6. So 6
B
plus
just
B
zero.
equals 6.
B
B
is
must be
0.
0.
So you have to write. Then you have
Okay.
to do C.
And we need to work out C then. A is 2. So you are going to write, if we plug both of these values in there, okay, what will we get? We will get 2 plus 0 plus C equals
Minus 3.
1.
Yeah, minus 3.
B must
equals
be equal to, if we take away 2 from both sides, minus 3. And Mujtaba, can you help me write down what's the standard nth term, like for like
A n
standard
squared.
quadratic nth term? That would be
A
A n squared plus
plus B n
en
plus
plus
C.
C. So A is actually 2, so you write 2n squared plus what?
0.
0 B.
Yes.
0. Is there any point? No need to write that.
You can write anything.
Minus.
That's minus 3.
And then minus 3.
So guys, so this is the quadratic. This is the nth term, okay, of this quadratic sequence. This question here, guys, this is question number 17. And here are four graphs, okay? And Moise, can you tell me what sort of graph is the first one? This one here. We call it reciprocal graph.
Is it f of x is trigonometrical function?
F of x is equal to 1 over x. And what do we call such graph? Such graph is called reciprocal graph. Okay. And what sort of graph is this one here, Moise? F of x is equal to, what do you think? What sort of graph will this be? E to the power of x, a number to the power of x. And what do we call this graph? We call it
Exponential.
exponential graph. And what do you think? What sort of graph is this one here? This is
that
square root, like f of x is equal to square root of x, okay? And like this is basically square root. I don't think like we can think of anything else like this. I can't think of any name for this. Okay, and this one here, if you think, it's a sine graph. If you think this one and then this one, okay? So it goes like it's a sine graph between like the range minus 180 and plus 180 degrees, okay? So this one is trigonometric graph, okay, and y is equal to, or f of x is equal to sine x, okay? And this is, of course, trig graph, okay? So can you tell me what should I write in the box then?
the first one is B.
First one is B, okay? Inversely proportional. Why? Because it's 1 over x.
1
Okay.
over x. Yeah.
What's the next one then?
The next one's A.
Trigonometric, that is A. Okay, and then next one.
D.
Exponential is D.
And then it's
And
the C.
the last one is C. Okay. I hope all of you have understood this question. Question number 18. We need to expand triple bracket. Okay, so first of all, can I ask Moise to help me expand these one? We don't expand 2x plus 1, but we just multiply out that next two brackets. What would that give me? X times 3x will be 3x squared.
3x squared.
7 will be
plus
7x. Plus 3 times by 3x will be
9x.
Plus 3 times 7 will be 21. Thank you. And first of all, I think in the next step, we should simplify the middle term. If we simplify that, what will we get? 3x squared plus 16x
plus 21.
And now what we need to do is we need to multiply 2x by 3x squared, then 16x, and then 21, and then 1 times by 3x squared, then 1 times by 16x, and then 1 times by 21. And what will that give me? That will actually give me 2x times by 3x squared will give me 6x cubed. Okay, and 2x times by 16x will be
32x squared.
X squared, yeah. And 2x times by 21 will be plus 41. No, 41, 42.
Plus 42.
2x, and then 2x multiplication is complete. Now we can start multiplying all of the 3 terms in the second bracket by 1. So 1 times 3x will give me 3x
squared.
And then 1
plus
times
16x plus 21.
16x plus 21. And here I can see that these two are the like terms and these two are the like terms that must be collected. Okay, so 6x cubed stays the same, and 32x squared plus 3x squared will give me
35x squared.
35x squared, and 42x plus 16 will give me 58x.
58x.
And plus
21.
And if I compare this with, say, ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, I must know that a must be equal to 6, b must be equal to 35, and c must be equal to 58, and d must be equal to 21. Okay. Question 18 part B. Solve this inequality. We can square root both sides. And when we square root, square and square root get cancelled. So we get 1 minus x on this side, and that is plus minus square root of 9 over 25 will be 3/5. Here we get 2 different solutions, okay? But we have to be very, very careful when we write the negative solution. Right, so let's first of all see 1 minus x is less than either positive 3/5. The original question was 9 over 25, which was a positive value. So that's why when you write positive value, the sign is not going to switch. Okay, flip. Or the other solution will be 1 minus x. And when we write minus 3/5, because that's one of the possible answers, we must flip the sign, because in a way, this side has been multiplied by -1. So that's why the sign will flip to this side. Okay. Right, so how can we solve this one? What we need to do is we can take away 3/5 from both sides, and we can add x on both sides. So 1 take away 3/5 is less than x. Because when x is added, x becomes positive and it goes on the right hand side. Right, so basically 1 take away 3/5 is 2/5, and 2/5 is less than x. We may write it as x is greater than 2/5. Okay. And if we, on this side here, what we can do is we can add 3/5. If we add 3/5, what we'll get is to become 1 and 3/5. And adding x on both sides, x goes on this side. So 1 3/5 is greater than x, or we can write x is less than 1 3/5. And this inequality can be combined. Both of these inequalities can be combined, and our final answer will be x is greater than 2/5. So 2/5 can be written on this end, and x is greater than this, but x is less than 1 3/5. Question 19. D equals u squared over 2a. U equals 26.2. Correct to 3 significant figures. And a is equal to 4.3. Correct to 2 significant figures. Calculate upper bound for the value of d. Right. To work out the upper bound of value of d, what we need to do is d must be equal to u, the upper bound, squared, all of this divided by 2 with a lower bound. Right. What is the upper bound for upper and lower bound for 26.2? That will be 26.25, and what will be lower bound? 26.15. And what is the lower bound for this? 4.25. What's the upper bound for this? 4.35. We are going to use upper bound for u, and that will be 26.25 squared, and all of this divided by 2 times by lower bound of a, which is 4.25. If we use calculator, we will get 81.0661767. What if we round this to 6 significant figures as required? So this will become actually 81.0662. It's correct to 6 significant figures. Right. Moving to part B of the question, it says the lower bound for the value of d is 78.6003. Correct to 6 significant figures. By considering bounds, write down the value of d to a suitable degree of accuracy. You must give a reason. Right, if I look at this answer, 78.6003, and if I also look at my answer from part A, which is the upper bound for d, at the moment they're different from each other. So what should we do? What can we do so that they agree with each other? What we can do is, I can think of, if I round them both to the nearest 10, both of them will become 80. So the answer will be 80. I should write that b is equal to 80 as bounds free when rounded to nearest 10. That is the final answer. Question number 20. Solve algebraically the simultaneous equations. One of the equations is x squared minus 4y squared equals 9. The other equation is 3x plus 4y equals 7. There can be more than one like different ways. At the moment, what I will do is I will probably rearrange the second equation either for x or for y to to make x and y the subject and then substitute that into the other equations, right? So if I do that, what I can do is, like, if I take the 4y, it from both sides of the second equation, I will get 3x equals 7 minus 4y. And then if we divide both sides by 3, that will give me a rearranged equation giving a value of x. Right, so this value here I can substitute into the other equation. Say if we call this equation 1, and if we call this equation 2. So what we can do is, at the moment I can say put x equals 7 minus 4y over 3 into equation 1. If I do that, I can actually, instead of writing x squared, I can write 7 minus 4y, all of that over 3 all squared, minus 4 times y squared equal 9. Right, and if we expand 7 minus 4y squared, I can actually write it as 7 minus 4y times 7 minus 4y, and that will actually give me 49 minus 28y minus 28y plus 16y squared. Okay, and this is what we are going to get, and 3 squared will be 9. So I'll get this, and this simplifies actually to 49 minus 56 y plus 16y squared. So 49 minus 56y plus 16y squared, all of this divided by 9 minus 4y squared equals 9. And if I multiply the whole equation with 9 to get rid of this 9, times by 9 times this by 9 and times this by 9, this and this 9 will get cancelled. Okay, and what we will be left with will look like this. It will be 49 minus 56 y plus 16y squared minus 36 y squared equals 81. Right, so at the moment we can simplify this. First of all, what we can do is 16y squared minus 36y will give me minus 20 minus 20y squared and minus 56y, and 49 take away 81 will give me minus 32. And all this will be equal to 0. I can divide the whole of this equation by minus 4. All of this divided by minus 4. When I do that, I will actually, the signs of all of these terms will turn positive. And I'll get 5y squared plus 14y and plus 8 equals 0. And 5 times 8 is 40, and we have to think of two numbers that multiply to 40 and two numbers that add up to 14. And that will give me basically what we have to think of. 4 times 10, these are the numbers, okay? Or because 4 plus 10 gives me 14, and 4 times 10 gives me 40. Right, so we have to think of 5y in one of the brackets and just y in one of the bracket and equal to 0. The thing is, as I put in one of the brackets 5y, so that's why I must divide one of my factors by factors of 40 by 5. So when I divide it by 5, this actually turns into 2. So 2 cannot go in the same bracket as 5y, so 2 will go in this bracket here, and the other 4, without any change, will go in this bracket here. Right, after we have factorized this, now we can work out the values of 2 values of y. And these values of y will be either 5y plus 4 equals 0, plus 4 equals 0, and that will give me, or it could be y plus 2 equals 0. So basically, one value of y will be y is equal to minus 4 over 5, or the other value will be y is equal to minus 2. Right, and now these values can be substituted. We can substitute these values into this third equation here, which we had formed at the start. We may call this equation 3 because this is a rearranged form of 3 and 2. Why we are using this one? What's the advantage of this? Because this is, in this one, x is already the subject. Right, so what we can do is, when y will be equal to minus 4, 5 will be minus 0.8, minus 0.8. What will x be in that case? X will be equal to 7 minus 4 times by minus 0.8, and all of this divided by 3. This will give me positive 3.2 plus 10, 10.2 over 3, which will simplify to 3.4. So this is the value of x. Okay, and when y will be equal to minus 2, what we will get is, then we'll get x equals 7 minus 4 times 2. 4 times, please excuse me, minus 2 divided by 3. And this will give me 7 plus 8, which is 15, and 15 divided by 3 will give me 5. So this is the second value. Right, so what are the two pairs of values which I get? Two pair of values which I get are, in fact, these ones. Okay. First one is, we can say that when x is 3.4, y will be minus 4 over 5 or 0.8, and the other value will be when x is 5, y is minus 2. So these two are the solution sets. These two are the points where these equations actually intersect each other. Question number 21. The histogram gives information about the distribution of the weights of some onions by a farmer. And if we look at this histogram, on one side, like as all of the histograms do, there is frequency density, and the other side there is weight in grams. And there are three statements there. First statement says onions less than 60 grams in weight are used for pickling. Onion greater than 120 grams in weight are sold at market. The rest of the onions are sent to a processing factory. Right. So right, so let's work out how many onions less than 60 grams in weight. How many onions are there? So 60 is there 60 times 2? This will be 120. 120 onions they're used for pickling. Okay. And then it says onions greater than 120 grams. So greater than 120. They're used for, they're sold at market. So from 120 to halfway between 120 and 150 is 135. So which means 15 times 6, that will be 90. So this bar contains 90. And then 135 to 180 is 45. 45 times 2 will be 90. So 90 are there. And how many are there in the two middle bars? Okay, this one here, from 60 to 90 is 30. So 30 times 5 will be 150. And from 90 to 120, it's 30. 30 times 9 is 270. Right, so if I say food processing, how many are for food processing? I think I should say FP. There must be 150 at 270, that is 420. How many are used? How many are for pickling? Pickling are only 120. And how many are sold at market? So market, they are 90 and 90, which is 180. Please excuse me. A pie chart is drawn using the information opposite to show what the farmer does with onion he grows. They're used for pickling, sold at market, and sent to the food processing factory. The angle of the sector for the onions sent to the food processing factory is X, work of the value of X. Right, so first of all, what we need to do is if we add all of these up, what do we get? 180 and 120 is 300, 720. So altogether there are 720, but 420 out of 720 times by 360. And if we actually use a calculator for this, what we need to do is we start with the fraction 420 out of 720 times by 360, and this gives me an angle of 210. Right, so that's like this equals 210 degrees. Therefore, X is 210 degrees. Question number 22. The diagram shows a circle center O. AB is the tangent to the circle at point A. Angle OBA is 30 degrees. Point B has coordinates 16 and 0, and point B has coordinates 3P and P. Find the value of P. Right, first of all, as we can see that A is a tangent, so if I draw a line from there to there, then I get a triangle which is right angle triangle. Okay. It's a right angle triangle. So if this is a right angle triangle, this side here, which is a radius, OA, must be the opposite. And this side here, which is 16 long, that must be the hypotenuse. Okay. Right. So if we're using SOHCAHTOA, so it must be OH. So if we got, so we can make the triangle moving by moving O on the top, sine and H, sine theta and H, okay. And we can always form a triangle like this. And in this one, what we need to do is we need to work out the value of O. So if you put your thumb or your hand on O, we can see sine theta and H at the same level. It means that they should be multiplied together to work out the value of O. So we'll write O is equal to sine, and theta here is, angle here is 30 degrees. 30 degrees times by hypotenuse is 6. And sine 30 is half times by 16 is going to be 8. So this is 8 long. So one thing which we worked out, that radius is 8. Once we know that radius is 8, then we should also know this, that even this line is also a radius. And if this is radius, it means that this also must be 8. Okay, we know that a standard equation of circle is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. And if you think that x coordinate is 3p and y coordinate is p, so we can actually substitute the values of, and the value of r is 8. If we substitute all of these three values into this equation, we'll get 3p squared plus p squared is equal to 8 squared. What we will get is, we'll get 9p squared plus p squared is equal to 64, and 9p squared plus 10 plus p squared will be 10p squared. That will be equal to 64. We can divide both sides by 10, and we'll get p squared is equal to 6.4, and if we square root 6.4, and if we square root p, we will actually get, we have to use calculator for this, square root of 6.4, and that will give me an answer of p is equal to 2.5298 okay, and which means that if I round this answer to one decimal place, p will be equal to 2 because if I look at the digit after, that's not 5 bigger, so that's why it will be 2.5. This is the final answer from the value of p. Question 23. Diagram shows the positions of 3 towns, Acton, Boston, and Chorlton, A, B, and C. To keep it simple, Boston is 8 kilometers from Acton on a bearing of 37 degrees. So north line above A, and this bearing is 037 degrees. And then if you draw the north line above B, Chorlton is 9 kilometers from Boston on a bearing of 150 degrees. Find the bearing of Chorlton from Acton. So from A, if I draw the line, from A to C like this, and the north line above A is already drawn. So basically, we need to work out this angle here. Find the bearing of Chorlton from Acton, give your answer correct to one decimal place. Right, at the moment, we cannot work out any other angle within the triangle ABC other than this one here. And how can we work out this angle here at the moment? First of all, this north line and this north line, they're parallel to each other, and 37 and angle at B. These two must be allied angles. How can we work out B? That must be 180 minus 37. And if I take the 30 from this, 150, so 143. And if we know that this is 143 and this is 150, we can work out the other one by taking away from 360, 150, and 143. That will be 67. So this angle is 67. This is what we know. We can't work out any other angle. We can, in fact, work out this angle here, which is 30 degrees, but that is of no use because that angle is not going to be any helpful. Right, so we work out this angle here then. Angle within this triangle, angle A. Right, it's actually, we'll have to use cosine rule because at the moment we got two sides of the triangle and angle opposite to the missing sides, which means we can actually label this side as B, this side is C, and this side is A. And we know that B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B. And to work out just the value of B, of course, we have to square root all of this. And let's substitute the values. So A is 9 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 9 times 8 times by cos of 67. And if we substitute this into a calculator, what will we get? We get in a square root 9 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 9 times 8 times cos of 67 degrees. And we will get 9.4 basically. Get the answer as B will be equal to basically, B will be equal to 9.4199. Okay, so we can use actually this value here now. I would actually round it to, I will not round it to one decimal place. I would actually like to keep at least up to 4 decimal places. So B is 9.4199. But why have we worked out the length of AC? In bearings, we don't need any lengths. If we have to work out just the angle, no. This length and this angle can act as a pair, and we can use this angle and that side as a pair to use sine rule. And with the help of sine rule, we can work out the missing angle there. Right, so this is B. So we will say, and this is angle A, and this side is A. So what we have to work out the angle A. So that's why we write sine A over, what's the side? Side opposite to this is 9. And that equals what? We can write sine 67 over 9.4199. And then to work out the value of sine, like first of all, sine A, we have to get rid of this 9. So we multiply both sides by 9. By doing so, we can cancel out 9 and like 9 from this side, and then sine A is equal to this thing. But the thing is, we have to work out actually the value of A, not sine A. That's why we can straight away, if you want, we can work out the value of A will be, we have to take away sine inverse on both sides. Sine inverse of sine 67 over 9.4199 times by 9. This is what we need to do. And if we type this in, first of all, we'll start with shift and sine inverse, and then starting with the fraction, then sine 67 over 9.4199 and times by 9 and close this bracket, and this will give me 61.557. 8 dot dot. Right, and if I round this answer to 1 decimal place as required by the examiner, so this will become 61.6 degrees. Okay, right. So what will be the bearing of Chorlton from Acton? That must be, bearing will be equal to 37 plus 61.6. 61.6 and 37 will give me 98.6. Mind you, don't leave your answer like this. You must, bearing must be written as a 3-digit number, so that's why 0 must be there. Degrees. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.